Before we start to talk about the concept of Islam, let me clarify something. What is the meaning of the word Islam first? Judaism comes from the name Judah, which is the name of the tribe of children of Israel. And Christianity coming from the word Christ. But what is Islam come from? I mean as a word. Of course, it's not from the name or the word of Allah, and it's not similar to Muhammad. Islam in Arabic, if we translate it to English, has several meanings. And this is one of the beauty of the Arabic language, that one word has several meanings. That's why it's impossible to have a translation for the Quran. It's just impossible. Islam means submission, surrender, acceptance, and peace. In another way, we can say that Muslim is the one who belongs to Islam. He is the one who submits and surrenders himself to the only one God, accept His orders, and worship Him in peace. Now, somebody will ask, who is Allah? We worship Allah. And why Muslims don't call Him God? Well, there are several answers for this. Number one, the word God, G-O-D, wasn't exist 950 years ago. Simply because the English language wasn't exist 950 years ago. This is number one. Number two, this is the name that Allah or God, I will say God so you will not be confused, get confused. This is the name that Allah wants us to use it. For example, if we go to the Hebrew Bible, you will see in Genesis 1 verse 1, it says the following: in the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and earth. I would like to show you how it's written. This is how you will find it in the Hebrew Bible. Elohim. Elo is God. M is the royal plural for respect. For example, you will see, or you will hear, or you will read, the King of England, he will say, we, the King of England, decided so and so. So he will talk about himself in the royal plural as respect. So how about the King of the Kings? I think he deserves to use this terminology more than any other king. So you will see here, it will be like this: Elo, and then M. M is the part for the royal plural. So God in Hebrew is Elo. Elo. This is in the Hebrew. It means my. So it's Elo, God. E is my. Elo, the same as in the Hebrew Bible, exactly. So basically what I want to mention here, that Allah is no different, is not another God that different than your God. You will see in the Quran in Surah number 112, say He is Allah, the one and only. And there is another reason why we cannot, or we should not use the name God or the word God, because basically God, you can make it genderized, you can make it female, you can make it plural. For example, you can make God plural by add an S, it will be gods, or make it female by make it goddess. But Allah in the Arabic language, you cannot make it female nor plural. So why in the world, while you believe that there is only one God, you want to worship him by a name that you can make it plural or female? I think it's more proper for you, if you believe that he is only one and he is not a female, then you should worship him with the name that you cannot make him plural nor female. After mentioning what is Islam means in Arabic, in English, and who is Allah, who is Prophet Muhammad? More than 1400 years ago in the Arab Peninsula, people were really very ignorant. They were killing each other for the simplest thing. They were worshiping idols. If someone gets a female child, he will bury her and brag about it, that he gets rid of his shame. They were fornicating, they were gambling. They were so ignorant to the point, if someone wants to worship a god and he doesn't have anything, any god around him, he would bring fruit and build his own god, and when he gets hungry, he will eat his god. That how was the ignorancy in that time. At the same time, in this time, there was a man, his name is Muhammad. And by the way, the meaning of the word Muhammad, his name, has several meanings in English. It means the preferred, the desired, the chosen one, the lovely, the praised, and had another meaning, which is the one who prays or thank a lot. Prophet Muhammad, he had another nickname he was famous by, the honest one and the trustworthy one. That's how he was famous among his people. When he reached 40 years old, he got the revelation in the cave of Hira. He never, ever worshipped an idol. He ever fornicated. He never touched a woman but his wife. He was worshiping God during that time according to the religion of Abraham, which is there is only one God, the oneness of God. When he get the revelation from God through angel Gabriel, the main message that he has to give it to his people was worship only one God. There is only one God. We have to mention what is God in Islam. Allah in Islam is the most merciful, the most gracious, the most generous. He is the most compassionate. He has all the power. Nobody's like him, and he is like nobody. He begat not, nor was he begotten. There is no co-equal to him. This is the concept of Allah or God in Islam. How in the world somebody would have a right mind would think that Satan would tell someone, go to your people and tell them, don't kill each other? How would in the world someone would have a right mind to say that Satan whispered to Muhammad and tell him, hey, stop worshiping idols, stop being pagans, and worship only one God, the God of Abraham, the God of Noah, the God of Moses, the God of Jesus, the God of David, Solomon? How in the world someone would have a right mind, would think for a second that Satan will tell Prophet Muhammad to go to the Jews and tell them, hey, the Messiah arrived, but why you don't believe him? Jesus came, and he is the Messiah. Think. What is the faith in Islam? Islam is based on faith of Islam is based on 6 things. To believe in Allah, which means you believe that there is only one God. Number 2, to believe in his angels, that he created his angels. They are not co-equal to him. Number 3, his books. And what we mean by books, the Torah, which is the 5 first book in Old Testament. The gospel of Jesus. Remember what I said, the gospel of Jesus. Not the gospel of Mark, not the gospel of Luke, the gospel of Jesus. Believe in Psalms and the Qu'ran. We believe in his prophets that he sent since Noah, Abraham, Ishmael, Jacob, Job, David, Solomon, Moses, Jesus, Prophet Muhammad. All these prophets, we have to be a Muslim, we have to believe in them. And we have to believe in the judgment day, that we all, after we die, we will be resurrected and go to the judgment day. And the destiny, good and bad, that before you were created, God decided already how much you're gonna get, who you will get married to, how many children you will have, if you will have an accident or not. So you have to accept the destiny of God. If you have faith or you believe in these 6 things, then you have the faith of a Muslim. Let me repeat it with Muslim again. Muslim is the one who surrenders and submits himself to the only one God and accept his orders and worship him in peace. Islam, or in Muslims, we take our teachings from 2 sources. The Quran, which is the book of Allah, the word of Allah, and the Sunnah. And the Sunnah means the sayings and the deeds and the biography of Prophet Muhammad. We, as Muslim, we cannot take our religion only from the Quran and ignore the Sunnah, for a very simple reason. The Quran has orders, but these orders needs some explanations. The Sunnah, or the sayings of the Prophet, is the one who teach us and explain to us what is this verse are, what it means. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, I left among you 2 things. If you hold it, you will never go astray after me. The book of Allah and my Sunnah, my actions, my sayings, and my deeds. I see a lot of non-Muslims, unfortunately, they open the book of the Quran and they see this verse and they don't understand it, because basically they don't go back to the Sunnah to see the explanation of this verse. Islam, to be a Muslim, you have to do 5 things. First, you have to believe and say that I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his servant and messenger. This is number 1. Number 2, you have to perform the 5 daily prayers. The beauty of the 5 daily prayers is that you pray to Allah directly. There is nobody in between. As He created you without nobody in between, He wants you to worship Him. Nobody in between. He gave you 5 daily appointments to meet Him. You can pray to Him anytime you want, but He gave you 5 times a day to meet Him. Number 3, give your charity, which is 2.5% from what you have saved in the whole year. Number 4, fast the month of Ramadan. 5, performs Hajj, which is pilgrimage, once in your life to Mecca. And act exactly as Prophet Ibrahim and his wife Hagar, how she acted when she had her baby. This is the actions that we Muslims do, exactly mimicking what Prophet Ibrahim and Ishmael were doing when they were there.